You know what Sketch Wars needs? Explosions. Okay, so add death to Sketch Wars. So now when your HP gets below 0, then you actually die and you explode, which looks awesome. So let's die. Suicide mission. There we go. We just died. So after playing my game for about 12 stages, I realized there's a few bugs with those improvements I made last video, with the enemies despawning and the enemy collisions. So apparently the chaser's eyes don't fade along with the chaser when they're despawning, and also enemies, when they're just despawn, they still collide with each other, which is a bit of a problem because it looks really weird. So I got some things to do. I hate bug fixing. Game development, everybody. Here we go. So after looking through the code, these would be pretty easy bugs to fix. First would be the chaser, making it so the eye actually fades along with the chaser, which is pretty easy to fix, but I'm gonna make it so it only spawns chasers. So it's gonna be pretty easy. Basically, this just makes it so it'll only spawn chasers. Before, how it did is basically chose a random of these enemies, and then after stage 3, it can choose those enemies plus the chaser. But now it only can do spawn chasers. And then I need to make it so enemies will despawn after one stage, just so I can see if the chaser is despawned correctly. And all I had to do is add one there, 7.5. I don't need it. Entity, I need chaser. And then this one, all I need to do is, let's see. Oh, this might be a little more difficult than I thought. Not difficult, but I think I have an idea. I have all the code that like kills those things, kills the enemies inside the enemy class, which is the abstract class that all other enemies inherit. But I need to make it so tell that chaser that's spawning that it's despawning, because the chaser is the one that holds the eye, not the enemy. So it's gonna make a variable called dying. And then if this is going on, so I'm just gonna say dying equals true. And then when if the dying is equal to true, don't do that to me. Under draw, you're gonna put, I don't need to put that under draw, I can just do it under update. So under update, I'm just gonna say if dying, then see, is it sprite cut I? Yeah, it's cut I dot set alpha I dot get alpha. See, what was it? -3, so subtracting 3 from each frame. So see how this works out. Let's test it out. Just gotta wait until it despawns, and then I can see it in action. Don't you hit me. 9 more seconds to go, then it's gonna die. Ha! Bug is fixed. There we go. And it only spawns chasers because it did that. There we go. First bug is fixed. Cross that off my to-do list. Alright, this next bug fix is gonna be really easy. These next two ones. All I really need to do is add this one code. Basically says and p.it.get alive. Basically all it says is that the collision it only tests for the collision if the other zoomer is alive. So really easy. Just add the same thing to the chaser. So just say and p.get alive, not get that. And there we go. I'm not gonna test this because I'm pretty sure it works because it's the same thing you did for the player for exclusions. So yeah, there we go.
Hi, I'm the one behind the redesign for the bouncer enemy. After looking at the bouncer sprite and seeing how it looks in game, I decided that editing the original sprite for it would be more efficient than making an entirely new sprite. So the first thing I did was I went in and erased the mouth to see how it would look in game without the mouth. However, the problem with this that I didn't realize was that this sprite was transparent. So my method of easily erasing it was just to paint the mouth white, but the sprite has transparency, and I didn't realize that. So as we're going to see, it won't work. And I decided to go back inside and fix it by actually erasing the mouth instead of just glossing over it. The bouncer's shape is very circular, which kind of implies that it's on the slower side, while a more pointed shape would imply speed. After viewing it in-game, I noticed how similar it looks to the player, especially without the mouth. So I'm going to give it a new mouth animation, so that it's harder to mistake the player for the boomer. Bouncer, not the boomer. So it's harder to mistake the character for the bouncer. And I realized, while doing this, that the bouncer was too fast. Because, if I can get back in game and show it, for its shape, size, and speed, well, shape and size, really, the bouncer seems too fast. Something of that size would probably be a bit slower. It's really round. Like I said earlier, if it was more of a pointed shape, it would imply speed. But the round, kind of blubbery shape that it has implies that it's slower. And here I am trying to get one to spawn. It takes a little while. Because as you notice, these triangle-shaped enemies are pretty slow compared to the bouncer. Now, the mouth animation, I wanted to have it close before the last frame of the animation so I could give it a little time to reset. And I ended up having an extra frame, or not an extra frame, but having one extra frame where I could start the mouth on its closing process. I'm making sure the mouth is in the same spot every sprite, because the outside of the sprite changes, it fluctuates, while the eyes of the sprite keep it in tow, or stay the same in every frame. So I use that as a reference to keep the mouth, you know, on check. Adding the mouth also gave it a happy look, which is actually something I was going for, because I imagined this thing would be happy. I mean, just look at it. And this is definitely when I realized that it needed to be slower. And here's me typing out to Arvs that it needs to be slower. So, that's the rework. I've been Zarb.
Huh. They're dancing. Okay, that's interesting. Might be a bug, or maybe a feature. Yeah, dancing zoomers. I haven't tested this out yet. This might end horribly, but you know what? YOLO. So I'm trying to work on the chasers' collisions so they won't merge with each other, and this might end horribly. But you know what? First reactions and stuff is always hilarious, so I don't know what's going to happen, you don't know what's going to happen, so this is going to be great. Hey. Oh. Well. That's not supposed to happen. They merged, which I didn't want. Wait, does it take off twice the HP? No, I don't think it does. Well, this still isn't supposed to happen. Now we got a third one. Yeah, I should probably fix that. So now the player can actually die. So now when your health goes down, you die and you explode, which is awesome. Cool little effect. So one more hit and I'm gonna die. And it crashed. Sketch Wars is now playable, so let's play it. And don't know why I went in there. Must be a bug. But this game is in beta, I think, or alpha, or whatever comes next after nothing. Alpha, I guess. This game is in alpha, I think. I'm very unsure about this, but I decided that this game is actually playable now that there's a game over screen and you can pause with the escape key. So yeah, I can play this. It's fully playable. Let's see how far I can get. So far my record is stage 8. I can't get any further than that. But maybe I'll be able to. Don't give me another bouncer. Come on. The secret to the bouncers is if you stay near the sides, you can usually dodge them pretty easily. Because as soon as they hit the sides, they're just going to bounce. And I screwed up there. But you can usually predict pretty easily where they're. Why are you giving me all bouncers? Give me something else. Yeah, I don't do so well with bouncers though. I can deal with zoomers. Oh my gosh. I am failing. Did you just give me another bouncer? Are you? One more hit and I'm dead. Yeah. Ooh, something else besides a bouncer. A chaser. Those are... and I just died. Sketch Wars, everybody.